I really like about Nekromantik 2 is that if you cut out some scenes, you could also show it at Love Story 2. Yeah, I mean, there's lots of love into the movie. It's a movie about love, like the first one. There's so much to say about these things because we are the only ones who are doing movies about necrophiles, so why not do another one? One of the main reasons I wanted to try this for a second time was that we read an interview with a female necrophile, and normally horror movies or so-called horror movies are made for men, and I think it's kind of important to do a movie from a woman's point of view, which is of course a little bit difficult because I'm not a woman, but we sat together with Monica to check it out, and I think we kind of succeed with that because Nekromantik 2 is playing in Austria next month at a women's film festival, so there has to be this kind of woman feeling into it, maybe, hopefully. And it was kind of taking a second chance because you are never totally convinced by your own movie, You have always the feeling, well, I can do this better now, because if you are doing it, you always have the feeling, well, now I've done it, now I can do it better. And it was kind of a second chance to do it.
Nekromantik 2 is a much warmer viewing experience than the original movie. It harkens back to the director's early days of Super 8 shorts, full of coy humour and absurdity. It's also been described as a movie for women because the lead character Monica gets her own way and kills a man.
A lot of women like that movie because, I think because they have the possibility to identify more than in other.
What identify with the necrophiliac?
With the main character, not with her as a necrophiliac, but with her as someone who is an aggressor, or the woman who is the aggressor. I don't like feminism as it is regarded, or when it is regarded as a political thing. I mean, I think I regard myself as liberated, so I really don't care.
Tu t'aperçois ce que la délicieuse. Tu t'aperçois de mon désir. L'heure est venue de déguster ce que tu offres.
vomiting?
Because he has to stand for a long time, just very still, and I think he drank something to make him more relaxed.
Oh yes.
And so maybe, it's really warm underneath, and it was really warm in this thing, in this shack where they used to build the corpse. And he just got sick and he wasn't allowed to move, so they had to put this thing under his mouth so he could vomit into it. I think we have to show it to the audience so you can see how difficult it is to do such big, to get the full impact of it. We are talking about no budget filmmaking, and if you have something on the screen, you have to put the best out of it.
Were you
It or
no.
no?
Did you spend a long time on this particular dead person?
I mean, these two guys, they did the corpse. It was the first time I was not involved in building the corpse. But I was kind of involved because he did the skull for this one was from my skull collection, and it's still in there somewhere, so I'm kind of involved. I'm into it. And
What kind of skull collection is that?
a human skull collection. Because, as you know, I'm a necrophile, and so I like to collect all the skulls from my lovers. So actually, it's a real one inside. Just kidding.
You've got a real skeleton inside this, or is it?
It's not a real one.
No.
A real one would be far too expensive for us. It's just a fake one, a plastic one. Medical skeleton, for doctors and stuff.
But why did you put that inside? Because you don't get to see it.
Well, you only see the bones from the hand sometimes and from the spine, but when we built the corpse, we didn't know if we could use it, maybe, but it's better to put it in, and otherwise it wouldn't last that long, because we had to carry it along, and the weight was his weight was 95 kilos, which is very heavy. It's more heavy than myself. Yeah, and if there was nothing like a skeleton in it, it just would break in the middle. That's actually a kind of gem I'm putting into the mouth of this stiff guy, because Monica has to kiss him now, like in the first picture.
What did she think of the first picture, Monica, when
She really liked it, yeah. I mean, it's a very sensitive movie. It's a movie about self-fulfillment and the difficulties of being yourself. Why should anybody don't like this movie?
Because it glorifies violence.
No, it doesn't. It's very sad, because there are lots of terrible things happening in this movie, and I don't think you are glorifying violence if you are showing violence, because it seems more glorifying to me if you don't see how messy and how awful it is if you kill somebody. For me, it's glorifying if you shoot somebody and this guy is just falling down, and it's a very clean thing, and it's very easy to do. So I think if you see these things in Necromantic 2, you won't do it on your own, because your whole flat will be messed up and stuff.
This certainly isn't Necromantic 2.
No, that's just some works that the effects guy Sammy Balgas did, and it was for a heavy metal video, and he asked Manfred and me to shoot these scenes because he wasn't able to get a 60mm camera, and I told him, okay, we shoot it for you, but only if you can use it for corpse fucking art. So that's the reason.
What heavy metal video was that?
It's a heavy metal video. Normally I was hired to shoot, but when they asked me to shoot it, I decided to do Necromantic 2 instead. Because, yeah, that's my thing, and I always prefer my own thing instead of money making or something else.
It wasn't Creator, was it?
Yeah, it was Creator. They're kind of famous now, I guess. Well, that's the the loving scene, the bad scene with Mark and Monica, and you can see Manfred is doing the part of Monica now, and now he's doing the part of Mark, which was more comfortable to him, of course.
Is this not embarrassing for a young impressionable girl who's never appeared in movies?
What is embarrassing?
To pretend to be making out like this.
Yeah, sure. But that's the way it is in the movie business, you know? Well, that's me getting my first belly ulcer. We have to do everything on our own, you know. It's quite embarrassing. I don't have to answer this again. I mean, the idea behind this was that he had this kind of dream where his head is just lying in the grass. You know, it never was meant to be that he's buried down there. It's just, you know, his head is lying around because his head will be cut off later. That's the point behind it. Now you understand it.
I understand. And you think you're not an art movie maker?
No. I have my reasons to do all these things. Art movie makers don't have any reasons. Do they?
People always ask the same questions. I mean, that's natural because everyone has some
how did you get
interest.
to be Necromantic 2?
Like that.
How did you get to be Necromantic 2?
By the way. Okay, shall I give you the long version or? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So it was back then in 1990. And I went to, and that time it was for about 2 months or so. I went to cinema very often, and I went into a so-called long horror movie night, and I left after the second film because I was tired and want to go home. And then as I went out of the theater, this guy came running after me and apologized for stopping me and so on. He asked me if I might be interested in playing in a movie, and I mean, I really don't know what to say, because I mean, just anyway. The next question was if I know Jörg Buttgereit, and I said it's just his recent film, and I liked it a lot. And so he said, so it's the new Buttgereit film we're going to make, and they were looking for a person who do it for some months, and they didn't have luck. And it was Franz who stopped me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, we changed telephone numbers. I don't know why. Perhaps because I thought he was a nice guy.
Not Miles. Not Miles.
First thing happening was that in June 91, when Nekromantik 2 was playing at the Werkstattkino in Munich, I think it was on the 11th day of the screening, the district attorney came with 2 policemen and confiscated the print. And they said it was indulging in violence and all that stuff. And if you're glorifying violence, that means that you may go to prison for it. I mean, there is a law against it, and it is a very strict law. So they were seizing the print, and the Werkstattkino, and especially the woman who projected the movie on that evening, got to go to. She got a trial, and she had to defend herself, and she was fined, I think. No, the trial was postponed, but they accused her of glorifying violence because she was a projectionist on that evening. Yeah, quite funny. And this is the special thing is that this district attorney, he wants to make a name for himself, and so he raided the Werkstattkino in regular intervals. And that wasn't the first movie that was seized there, it was probably the 10th or something. He transferred that to the Berlin authorities, and obviously he transferred the print he seized. So the Berlin authorities, which is the one of the courts in Berlin, district courts of Berlin, they watched the movie and said, okay, we agree with you, this is glorifying violence. They came to Manfred's house, Manfred Jelinski, the producer. That was on, I think, 29th of July, 92, more than a year afterwards, and wanted to search the house with an official search warrant to look for the negative and everything that could use to duplicate the movie. Well, they didn't find anything useful, and they asked him, and he said, well, I don't know where it is, might be in America, wherever. So now we're not able to sell or show Nekromantik 2 within Germany any longer.
Die wir davor in Lüchow-Dannenberg hatten, haben wir jetzt 100 Kraniche im vereinten Deutschland. An der Oder. Oh, ich war, glaube ich, nicht so schlecht, aber ich hätte gern mit Marc getauscht.
Did you like the film?
Yes, very much.
And why? What's the reason?
I don't know, just the feeling of it and the whole film. I like the first film. I came over from England to see Nekromantik 2, the only reason I came over, and yeah, I enjoyed it. I'm glad I came over, definitely. Yeah.